Okay, so we're looking at fully worked solutions for the exam. So we'll start with the first ones. So first one, oh sorry, turn the pen. So in A, 4 to the 0 equals 1, 4 squared equals 16, so the answer equals 17. B, 5 1/3 to the minus 2, so 3 5s are 15 and 1 is 16 over 3 to the minus 2, and that becomes 3 over 16 to the positive 2, and that is 9 over 256. Okay, so you just have to use your calculator, or just use 5 1/3 equals 5 times 3 plus 1 over 3 equals 16 over 3. Okay, without negative indices. So we've got 2 to the minus 3. 2 to the minus 3 equals 1 over 8. 3 to the minus 2 equals 1 over 9. So these numbers here are just going to flip position. So the 9 is going to go to the top and the 8 is going to go to the bottom. And then unfortunately I've scribbled on the x's and y's, but there were no x's on the bottom, so it's just x squared. And then the y's become y cubed because the minus 2 comes up and becomes a plus 2. Okay, next one, this first bracket is m to the 13 squared. This second bracket is m. 9 minus 5 is 4 to the minus 2. 2 13s, 26 times m to the minus 8 equals m to the 18. So just make sure this is really clear. So that's the 4th root of b to the minus 3, and I'm going to take that to the minus 2. So there's lots of ways of doing it, but I'll take the 4 and make that a quarter, and then that's going to be to the minus 2. So I've got b to, you'll multiply those two, and then you multiply at the end. Just checking this, I forgot to put the 1 there, so that's 1 there, so that's 1 there. So that minus 2, so let's just write that again because it's not really clear. So it's b to the minus 3/4, okay, because that's on the bottom, and then it's all to the minus 2, and then you can multiply through. So minus 2 gives you 6 on 8. It's not 6 on 8, 6 on, beg your pardon, 6 on 4, which is 3 on 2, which could be written as the square root of b cubed, 1 over. Okay, next question. Evaluate in scientific notation. So that number is 411510 in 3 significant figures. So 4, 1, 2, and then 0, 0, 0. Give you the right size. And then part 2, 4.12 times 10 to the 5. Moving across. Okay, so orbits Earth at approximately that speed. So distance equals speed times time equals 5.3 by 10 to the 4 multiplied by 6 by 10 squared equals 31.8 by 10 to the 6, which is 3.18 by 10 to the 7 kilometres. Okay, volume given by that formula, so we want one volume over another volume equals 4/3 pi times 3 by, oh sorry, we'll put the bigger number on top, sorry, 2 by 10 to the 21 cubed over 4/3 pi times 3 by 10 to the 11 cubed. That cancels out with that. So we've got 3 cubed is 27, 11 threes are 33, over 2 cubed is 8 times 10 to the... Oh, I've got the wrong size, haven't I? Okay, so I've done this, I'll just change that again. Change it. So, 2 cubed is 8, so I've got the bigger volume on top. 21 times 3 equals 63, sorry about that. 3 cubed is 27 times 10 to the 33. And then I've got 8 over 27 times 10 to the 30, and that number is less than 1, so we're going to make it bigger than 1, so that number there is decimal 0.296, so it becomes 2.96, and then just drop one of your numbers. So that's half the size. Okay, so we've got 64 to the x equals 4 to the 1 is the first line. So then 4 cubed to the x equals 4 to the 1. So 3x equals 1. So x equals a third. Okay, so we've got 1 over 5 squared to the power of x equals 1 over 5, because 0.2 is 1/5. So 1 over 5 to the 2x equals 1 over 5 to the 1. So 2x must be 1. So x equals half. Okay, we've got 2 cubed to the x plus 1 equals 2 to the 1 times 2 squared to the x minus 1. So I've got 2 to the 3x plus 3 equals 2 to the 1 times 2 to the 2x minus 2. So 2 to the 3x equals... Those numbers go together. So that becomes minus 1, and then cross out the 2's. And move the x's around, so x equals minus 4 for that one. Okay. Let a equals 3 to the x, so we've got a squared minus 30a plus 81 equals 0. Plus at the back and the minus is 2 minuses, so it's minus 27 and minus 3. So a equals 27 and 3. So 3 to the x equals 27 and 3 equals 3 cubed 3 to the 1. Equals 3 and 1, just those numbers. Okay, next one. Oh, getting smaller. Okay, in my book. So that number there is the same as reverse the order because it's on the bottom. Then I got 3 squared to the power of 1/3 because a cube root is a third. So 3 to the 2 minus x equals 3 to the 2/3 equals 2/3, and just move the x's around and unit with 1 1/3. Okay, these ones we've done heaps of times. Okay, it's just 3 to the x minus 1, so it's going to go like that. Y, x. So that number there is when x equals 0. 3 to the minus 1 equals a third. And what's that to do? So there's no change there, so the horizontal asymptote is y equals 0. The y-intercept equals a third. The domain, all x, the range, y is greater than 0. Next one, y, x. Okay, so we've got a negative x, so it has to go backwards. Okay, so that value there is when x equals 0. So when x equals 0, you've got 10 to the 1 is 10, so that value is 12. I forgot to put in the floor. The floor is 2. So horizontal asymptote, y equals 2. Y-intercept is 12. Domain, all x. The range, y greater than 2. Okay, moving along. Population is decreasing by 12%. Okay, so we've got decay, so number of thirds equals 1400 multiplied by 1 minus 12 over 100 to the power of t, and we're just going to tidy it up. That's that one. How many in 2 years? And we're in years. Yes, we are in years. So the number equals 1400 times 0.88 squared equals 1084.16 to the nearest bird. Is that? Okay, we've got to halve our population, so we've got 700 equals 1400 times 0.88 t, divide by 1400, so 0.5 equals 0.88 to the t, therefore t equals using logs, log of 0.5 over log of 0.88, and that's 5.422, which is about 5.4 years. Okay, next section I marked. Okay, so this section here, they're going up in twos, so A is an AP. B, this one here, it's going up 15 and then subtracting 5, then subtracting 5, so there's no pattern, so it's neither. C, going up plus 3 and then going up plus 5 and going up plus 7, so the number's not consistent, so it's neither. They were just square numbers. Okay, so find an arithmetic sequence, or for an arithmetic sequence that starts with 18. So A is 18, D equals 12, so using the long way, A plus n minus 1 D equals 18 plus n minus 1 times 12, and because it has to be in simplest form, we have to keep going. 18 plus 12n minus 12 equals 12n plus 6. Okay, T15, let's do it down here. T15 equals 12 times 15 plus 6 equals 186. And C, the sum of 20 terms. So I'm going to find the 20th term, and then I'll use the first and last formula. So 12 times 20 plus 6 equals 246. And then S20 equals n on 2, the first number plus the last number, and that equals 2,640. Okay, next one. Okay, we're going to do geometric sequence. First number is 3, so A equals 3. Fourth number is AR cubed, which is 6 root 2. So we've got AR cubed equals 6 root 2 divided by A divided by 3. So R cubed equals 2 root 2. So R equals the cube root of 2 root 2, and that equals root 2. What do we have to find? We have to find the nth term. So Tn equals A times R to the n minus 1. So that's the answer. If you put that as 1.41, I took off half a mark because it's not 1.41, it's root 2. Okay, so we've got an arithmetic sequence and we've got a term. So we've got to find the general term. So Tn equals 3 plus n minus 1 times going up in sixes equals 3 plus 6n minus 6 equals 6n minus 3. So 387 is a term. 6n minus 3. 390 equals 6n add 3. So n equals 390 over 6, and that's 65. So there are 65 terms. Okay, next, coming across. Okay, so this is the stuff that was on the video for the practice, so there's no excuses, and we practice it in class. Okay, so first 5, so S1 equals 6 times 1 minus 5 times 1 squared and that equals 1. S2 equals 6 times 2 minus 5 times 2 squared equals minus 8. And similarly, S3 was minus 27, S4 was minus 56, S5 was minus 95. Okay, so taking differences. So the first number, the sum of one number is 1, so T1 equals 1, because that's the first number. To get T2, you subtract successive terms, so T2 equals S2 minus S1, which is minus 8 minus 1 equals minus 9. So then we've got first number's 1, the next number's minus 9, and we'll keep the pattern going. We won't have to do one more. So T3 equals S3 minus S2, which is minus 27, minus 8, which is minus 19. So we can just finish it off now. So there's the 5 numbers. Write out the first 5 terms. So these are 5 numbers. Now this last one, okay, that's the number we're going to sub in. Okay, just like we subbed in 1 and 2, we're going to sub in n minus 1. So Sn minus 1. So you go to the formula, which is up the top of the page. So we've got 6n minus 1 minus 5n minus 1 squared. We're just putting that number into that position for n. So we've got 6n minus 6. Could expand that out, so we've got n squared minus 2n plus 1, which is 6n minus 6 minus 5n squared plus 10n minus 5 equals minus 5n squared plus 16n minus 11. Okay, then got to find Tn. So Tn is Sn minus 1. Sn was right at the top of the page, 6n minus 5n squared. So 6n minus 5n squared minus the new formula, 16n minus 11. And when you subtract those terms, you get minus 10n plus 11. Okay. Right, find the limiting sum. So the formula is S infinity equals A over 1 minus R. So A is 1, R is a third over 1, which is a third. So S infinity equals 1 over 1 minus 1/3 equals 1 over 2/3, and that equals 1.5. Okay, this number here is 0.5 plus 0.029 repeater. Okay, so it's 0.5 plus 0.029 plus 0.00029 plus the. So that number is a half. This is the infinite sum. So A equals 0.029, R equals 0.00029 over 0.029, which is 0.1. So this section here, S infinity equals A over 1 minus R, which ends up being 29,990. And then when you add that number and that number together, you get 262 over 495. Okay, up to the last couple of questions now. Okay, so this is compounding interest. So compound interest, balance equals P bracket 1 plus I over 100 to the power of n. That's the formula. So the principal was $6,000. 1 plus the interest, 9%, but per month is divided by 12, and then there's 36 months in 12 years, and that gives us 7851.87. Okay, next question, part B, tins in a supermarket. So the pattern is 10 plus 11 plus 12 plus dot equals 390. So it's the sum of an AP. So A equals 1, D equals 1, N equals question mark, and Sn equals 390. So 390 equals n onto 2a plus n minus 1 times d multiplied by 2 to get rid of the 2 on the bottom. So we get 20 plus n minus 1 equals n. 19 plus n equals 19n plus n squared. Okay, that's 780, so that's a quadratic, so n squared plus 19n minus 780 equals 0. Use the quadratic formula or factorize, and you get that. So n equals minus 39 or 20. That's ridiculous. You can't have negative rows, so there's 20 rows. And then T20 equals A plus 19 times the difference, so the 29 cans in the last row, in the bottom row. Okay? If you just added 10 plus 11 plus 12 plus, you got the right answer. You got part marks, but you didn't get the full marks because there was some maths involved. Okay, the last one is compound interest. So we've got to use Sn equals A r to the n minus 1 over r minus 1. This value here is the last payment, so it's 2,000 times 1.06, and then 1.06 to the 20 minus 1 over 1.06 minus 1 minus 1. And when you put that in the calculator, you get $7,795.45. Okay, thanks, see ya.